Welcome back to Divine Helping Hands, Divine Family. We'll be talking about divine counterparts and soul covenants. When you have a divine connection, like if you're a divine masculine, you have a divine feminine, or if you're a divine feminine, you have a divine masculine, your relationship is always hard. There's probably a lot of breakups and makeups and stuff, but the one thing is like, y'all can't stay apart from each other, not for too long. You always come back to your one. So divine family, there are connections in this life that goes beyond chance, beyond attraction, beyond the ordinary stories of love. These are the ties that reach back before birth, before time itself even. The divine counterpart and soul covenants we sign before incarnating on earth. And you will know when you have this kind of connection. Like I said before, your relationship will be tested constantly, sometimes even broken apart by jealous or envious people. Your counterpart may leave you and slander you or break your heart, but it's not to punish you. It's just for them to learn lessons. And these are lessons that we signed up for, even before we knew that we had a spiritual connection. So today I'll be speaking on the journey and how deep it is when you have to, when you are part of these sacred contracts and these bonds and why they shape your destiny, honestly. So before our souls descended into this destiny of earth, we stood in the halls of eternity and made sacred agreements with God. These are the soul covenants, promises that we etched into the fabric of time with the divine as witness. God walked hand in hand with us, and we agreed to fulfill certain contracts on earth. Now, among the most powerful of these covenants is the union with our divine counterpart, the soul whose essence mirrors our own. The bond is not bound by flesh or circumstance, but by energy and eternal remembrance. No matter how far apart you travel, no matter how many lifetimes we live, the pull between divine counterparts is magnetic because it's written into the souls, like it's written into your blueprint. These unions are not for comfort alone, they are for awakening. Divine counterparts come together to activate each other, to heal old wounds, and to embody a high vibration of love that radiates outward to heal the whole collective. Now, sometimes the path with a counterpart is filled with trials, separation, and deep transformation, because the covenant signed before incarnation was never about ease, but about growth, service and divine remembrance. When you feel that unexplainable recognition, that undeniable soul call, know that you are stepping into the fulfillment of your promise you made with God. Honestly, it's like your soul, you made a promise to your soul, and God was the witness. So, and it's like I said, this is long before this lifetime. So I have an affirmation for this message. The affirmation is, I honor the sacred soul covenants I made before this incarnation, and I trust divine timing in the unfolding of my divine counterpart. Divine family, divine counterparts and covenants are more than love stories. These are sacred contracts of the soul. Every reunion, every lesson, every tear, and every embrace is a part of a tapestry, that we put together long time ago. So in spirit, we have to trust the journey because your soul already knows the way. This is the message for today. Me and my divine counterpart, I've been with this person since I was like 16, 17 years old. And throughout the years, it's been a lot of makeup, breakup, living in different states and everything like that. But no matter what, we always come back together. We learn lessons. We go out and we have to deal with certain things. And it's not, like I said earlier, it's not about punishing each other or nothing like that. It's like, this is what you signed up for before you even got here, you know. When you walked hand in hand in God and you picked your parents and you picked everything that you wanted your life to be, your counterpart was one of those things that you chose. Every person that you ever dated in your life, these was people that, you know, this been assigned to you. And it's all about lessons and blessings, you know, dharma and karma. So you go through the lesson, you learn, you spiritually grow, you evolve, you awaken, and you get your counterpart, and you live a very blessed and abundant life once it's all said and done, if you pass all tests. But like I said, that's the message for today here at Divine Helping Hands. If you have any questions, I ask that you comment, you know, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all this love and support I get already. And as I say, be the light. Thank you.